Hello, this is Colin. And on today's tea, I'm just drinking up the last of the old batch of Dorian Gray because when you get the new batch, you have to get rid of the old batch as quickly as possible. And Dorian Gray is one of my favorite teas, but it's nothing particularly special to talk about at the moment. I've talked about it before. Today, I was wanting to talk about Liptons. Now, many of you, particularly in America, may be familiar with Liptons, which is not my favorite tea company. When I travel to the States, very often Liptons is all you get. It's like your choice. You can get either Lipton's black or Lipton's decaffeinated, and some places that are really sophisticated have Lipton's green tea bags. But it's not a great tea. It's just a bog standard, rather dull tea. It's like when you go to these restaurants in the States and you ask for tea and they say hot tea, and it's like, yes, what other kind is that? Yes, I know 85% of the tea drunk in the United States is actually iced tea, which I think is a calamity. But anyway, I was just thinking about Lipton and how much I hate Liptons, and thinking about, well, where does Lipton's come from? And it actually all started in the 19th century, in the late 19th century, in Glasgow. There was this fellow, Thomas Lipton, naturally, who ran a grocery store in Glasgow, and he had a flair for marketing. And he decided one day that if he actually owned a tea plantation, he could actually cut out the middleman and get his tea cheaper. So he went off to what was then Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, bought a tea plantation, modernized it, streamlined it, introduced a cable car system, and so he was able to cultivate tea and ship it and sell it cheaper, which this is about the 1890 about. He reduced the price of tea, made it easier for the common man to afford it, which is always good. He then opened a branch in 1893 in Hoboken, New Jersey, so he was bringing tea to the Americans. And eventually he was actually, 1898, he was made Sir Thomas Lipton by Queen Victoria herself. So, it's a good start, fairly respectable. Then, after he passed away and the company continued, it just sort of seemed to went off the rails. And one of the things he did was he standardized the tea. So it always, you were guaranteed that every Lipton tea bag tasted like the other Lipton tea bags, which is a bit of a problem because it's, like I say, not very good tea. I mean, even Canada's bog standard tea, Red Rose, is superior to Lipton's. And also Lipton's introduced in a big way the concept of powdered iced tea in 1964, which has gone on to take over the world, well, America at least. Anyway, so the really curious thing I found about Lipton's is that they have their major factory is in what is it, Jebel El, I think it is. Yeah, Jebel Ali. Sorry, my apologies. Jebel Ali, which is in Dubai. Now, you normally don't think of Dubai as a tea-producing country, which it's not. It's a desert. But it is central to the Middle East. It has a friendly tax structure, lax labor laws, and easy finance from the banks. So, and the Middle East is one of the largest markets for tea in the world per capita. Also, it's a booming economies with a lot of affluent people. So, yeah, they ship teas from India and Sri Lanka and all over the place, and they send them to Dubai to be packaged, to be processed and packaged. They have a fully automated factory with zero waste, they're proud to say, which isn't actually all that surprising to me because they don't seem to have much of a workforce to produce waste with. And Yeah, it's the second largest tea factory in the world in Dubai, in the desert. So, that's the story of Lipton, and I'm sorry if I'm a bit down on Lipton, but it's just traveling through the United States and facing almost inevitably that tea bag of hot Lipton tea is rather depressing. Cheers.